What's up, guys? We're gonna brobeatz. Today I'm gonna be showing you guys an easy way to make some dark guitar trap beats. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the video. So first we're gonna start with our melody with our little guitar here. Okay, 135 for me. So 135 to 125 is a good range. I'm just doing something a little bit higher because I usually go a little lower on that in that range. Now we just need a scale, so we're gonna use a minor scale, of course. Let's do an A sharp. Doesn't really matter. We can always transpose. So I'm gonna make this extremely easy. Okay, so if you're a new producer, just watch this. So all we're gonna do is put our root down, okay, and then we're gonna go up 7. So we're gonna make a 5th. If you don't know how to do that manually, which I'll show you, you can just go to stamps and put in a 5th. And this is just to get you started, so you don't have to worry about theory and stuff. Okay, and then from here you can fill in any of these notes that you think sound dark. Usually it's these, because you can literally make an entire beat just off this. You put like delay on that, you put a hard hitting 808, the beat is done, right? So we're gonna use this. I'm gonna use this chord. So we're gonna take this note. I'm gonna try to shrink it in as much as I can and pull this up an octave. All right. So now we have a little chord here. And what we're gonna do is Control B this 4 times, and we're just gonna manipulate it as we go. So what we can do is maybe add something right here. I'm gonna Shift D that, and I'm gonna turn this down slightly, and then we're gonna copy this over, pull it down. And this is the point where you just try to be creative, do something just to spice it up a little bit. It doesn't need to be perfect. I'm gonna turn this down and see. Now I'm gonna take this note here, make a chord backwards. Now I really like that, but I want it to be dark. I don't want to go. So I'm gonna take this note and replace it. And then we're gonna take this, pull up, and that's why I gotta be careful with some of these notes and stuff. Let me see, and then we're just gonna pull this back in here. Let's listen to the whole thing. Let's copy it over, and then what we're gonna do is drop this so we can see the whole big picture. This is our second half. We're gonna take this and make a chord backwards. Okay, so just like this, and this is gonna give you that like storytelling vibe, as you can see. I kind of just like it simple, and I think I just doubled all these notes. Okay, and I want to see, I kind of like that original. I just feel like that's too melodic. I'm just leave it. All right, so that's the melody, very simple. Everything else from this point on will be super easy. So what we're gonna do now is the counter. So now we're gonna go ahead and start our counter. So we have this EP Dreams from the Newman Analogs Lab Bank. So it's like an electric piano organ. So I actually want to show you something that you can do instead of like trying to come up with a counter, because sometimes coming up with a counter melody ruins the main melody because it overpowers it. So one thing that you can do is we can try maybe one. Let's do 1/6. I think 1/6 will be good for this. So what we're gonna do is just take the original chord here and the notes we use. So you want to pay attention to the notes that you use because you might have different chords, etc. So we're gonna pretty much just take these, just kind of remember them and build up, and then you just do the 5th, and then you usually want to double it, and then in post production you want to add some delay so it's not super dry. And it's that's simple, and that's one thing you can do to like add to it without breaking the melody, which can happen easily with dark beats because it's so simple, and then just one little change could like kind of ruin it or make it better. You could do something like this. And we're just gonna copy it over, right? So just one thing you can do. All right, I like that. Again, we'll probably just add, I'll probably add some delay, like a delay plugin or something later. But let's go ahead and move on to the next sound. All right, so for our next sound, we have crossover, which is like a little bell. So I'm gonna be using this to layer because I think just these two sounds, they're already enough. And then we add effects, it'll kind of just widen it a bit. So we just want something in the background to kind of give it that dark vibe. So I'm gonna just copy this over. And then if you need to, you can add other notes in, like if you wanna, I don't know, do something like that. Like if you want to add other notes, you can, but I'm gonna just leave it flat like this. Okay, just making sure all the notes are on. All right, so I think that's good for the layer. Very simple. So what we're gonna do now is just add some effects, and I'll just kind of show you what I did there. Now I just want to go over some effects real quick. So for the guitar, I'll just play it without, and just mute these. All right, so I kind of gave it a reverse effect by adding initial reverse. Now the reason I use this because there's pretty much no delay with the reverse. Like if you use gross beat, there'll be like a half a second delay. So I use this so there's no delay. And then I boosted the part where the reverse happens so you can hear it more. And then before that, just put an RC20 to give it like that dusty vibe, right? And it's just my own little preset here. Okay, okay, so for like the electric piano, here we have like a Portal preset. I don't know if it'll load up from the Bermuda bank. It's Octavius is the preset that I'm using. Okay, I'll leave all links in the description for anything that I'm using that you can get. This is what it did. It just kind of like added a little delay. Right, off. And it took out the bass so it's not clashing with the guitar. And then for the bell layer, really nothing, right? Just it was fine the way it is, right? I could probably even take out some of this bass. Okay, and then on top of it for the bus, I use a thermal, and this is like a custom preset. Okay, this is called planetary debuff, and this just kind of gives it that like loop or dusty loop. Just kind of gives it character, right? So that is the effects. So what we're gonna do now is add our drums. Now we're gonna take care of our 808. So I'm gonna just copy these over, Shift D, and I might fast forward through a little bit of this, make sure our velocity's up, and maybe, why does it always do this? We just copy it over and maybe add something like that. Then we can do something like this. Okay, I think that's good. So what we can do now is just add our actual drums here. All right, so now it is time for the tedious part, just adding these drums in. So I'm gonna just add our rim and snare, and I like having both because there's different parts of the beat that I like the rim to play and the snare. And I'm gonna just right click, fill each, or what is this called? Yeah, set to next bar. We're gonna turn these up. We're just gonna add our hi-hats and stuff. think that's good. Pretty smooth. Let's go in here. We can maybe do something little. And I'm gonna slide this down. It's like an old trick. Kind of like it right here. Okay, I think that is good. Let's actually put this 64 so it's not annoying. Like I said, this is the slow part. Kind of figuring out the rhythms you want to use and stuff. And then we could put this to and I'm gonna actually change the panning on this. Actually, there we go. Perfect. And then we could try with the snare. A lot more energy. I like the rim a little bit more. So now we play the whole beat all together. All right, and don't forget you can add variation. You can add other stuff at this point as well. But that's gonna be this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.